Good afternoon, I'm TK, and this is TK's video blog. Good to have you with us, good to see you all again. Welcome. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's get right down to it, shall we, and review our movie of the day. This week's movie is Red One. The movie stars Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, J.K. Simmons, Kiernan Shipka, Bonnie Hunt, Ronaldo Favorel, Christopher Hibju, Nick Kroll, Wesley Kimmel, Mary Elizabeth Ellis, Mark Evan Jackson, Jenna Canal, and Gershon Araya. So, what's the movie about? Well, the plot of the movie is a very simple plot, and it's essentially this. The film follows the head of the North Pole security team for St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, Callum Drift, played by The Rock, as he teams up with a bit of an unsavory character, notorious hacker, and bounty hunter, Jack O'Malley, played by Chris Evans, who he has a little bit of baggage, shall we say, to him. Now, the two must locate Santa Claus, a very buff Santa Claus at that, played by J.K. Simmons, who has been captured on Christmas Eve by a very powerful and very vengeful witch, Grula, sorry if I mispronounced there, played by Kiernan Shipka. Zoe Harlow, played by Lucy Liu, also joins in the fun. She's essentially the one who works with Callum, and she also recruits Jack. Now, their journey takes them to many different places and puts the pair, Jack and Callum, in many different and very humorous and heartwarming situations for sure. So all in all, it's a very interesting plot, and it's a very entertaining plot for sure. So, let's talk about the movie a little more in depth now, shall we? So the plot of the movie, it's a very interesting plot, it's very entertaining for sure, very action-packed, it really keeps you on the edge of your seat, so that's good, I like that personally. Now, as far as the overall plot, having Santa Claus get captured by a witch, and then having the two leads, Chris Evans and Dwayne Johnson, their characters, have to team up and have to find him and save him, and essentially save Christmas. That's a very interesting plot. Maybe a little cliche having to save Christmas, but it's an interesting plot all the same and entertaining all the same. Having Dwayne Johnson's character, who is a bit of a straight man, a bit more serious, but serious to the point of a lot of humor, then Chris Evans' character, who is more laid back, a little bit seedy, a little bit rough, a little bit nonchalant, having his character there too as well. The dynamic, they really feed off each other quite well, I think, and they land themselves in some very entertaining, humorous, and heartwarming, more so than you might expect, situations, and that's fun to watch. It's fun to see the chemistry between the two leads in general, but in terms of the two characters in the movie, it's fun to see the chemistry, see their bond form, see their respect form, and it's just really interesting to watch. So from that perspective, the plot is really good. I would also add too about the plot, seeing the main villain as a witch is a very interesting dynamic as well, because that means the main villain is a spellcaster, and that brings in a whole new dynamic for the two leads to contend with. So that's an interesting element to the plot too. Also, we do meet Krampus, who we find out is Santa Claus's half-brother in the movie, and that is a very interesting element too. Interesting to see how they get along in the movie, which we do see a little bit later, no spoilers, but just interesting to see that as well, have the dynamic as well. But overall, the plot of the movie is well put together, well thought out, it's entertaining, and definitely worthy of being told in the first place. So I think the plot is well done. Now, the casting in the movie, so the movie is very well cast. Chris Evans, Dwayne Johnson, Lucy Liu, J.K. Simmons, Kiernan Shipka, etc. They're all very well cast, a lot of heart, a lot of emotion, believability, which is great. You want that in any cast. Now, as far as the two leads, Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans, the chemistry between their two characters and between them in general as the actors, it's very well done, very believable, I think, which again, great. I think that it's fun to watch their dynamic, watch it grow, and just see the chemistry between them. You can really feel it, and I think it's authentic. There's an authenticity to it, which I love. So yeah, I mean, they're very well cast. I think that they bring a lot to their roles, and I think that they fit their roles perfectly. And as a duo, they're well cast. Again, the chemistry, and then individually, they play their roles very well too. So yeah, just great casting there. As far as Kiernan Shipka as the main villain, I do not know much about her personally, but I think she's an actress to watch in Hollywood for sure, because she is really good in this movie, really impressed. As far as J.K. Simmons, he is great. He's hilarious as Santa Claus. He plays a bit of a different Santa Claus than you might expect, but he's hilarious all the same, and I really like him in this role. Now, Lucy Liu, I think she's well cast. I remember her from Elementary as Dr. Joan Watson, and I like her. I think she's a great actress. I think that she was underutilized in this movie for me personally, the character was, but I thought she was well cast, a lot of heart, a lot of emotion, so her casting was well done as well. Now, I would also add in terms of the overall casting, they all have a lot of heart, a lot of emotion, and they have the believability factor, which you've heard me talk about this all season long. Any cast needs to have this, because if you believe what they're saying and selling on the screen, you're going to connect with them on a deeper level, and it's going to come across better and more authentic, and I think it does in this case. So overall, casting, really, really good. The lighting in the movie was fine, darker when it needed to be, lighter when it needed to be, so that worked out well. Now, the music in the movie, that fit very well as well. It was action-packed when it needed to be, Christmas themed when it needed to be. and it just fit very well. Having the end credit song be Mariah Carey's Santa Claus is Coming to Town, that really fits, and especially so because I think a lot of us would agree that Mariah Carey is the queen of Christmas. So there's that as well. But overall, I think the music fits, it works, it fits the tone, it fits the theme. As far as the visual effects in the movie, they were good. They weren't anything to write home about. They were cheesy, but that kind of works in this case in this movie because this movie was cheesy overall. So I didn't really have a huge problem with that, so the visual effects were fine. Now the editing in the movie. So editing is a very big thing for me. I'm an editor myself here. And I thought it was good flow, good continuity, good rhythm to it. So that was good. I really liked the editing. It made sense to me. So I would give that very high marks. Now, as far as the overall movie, I think it was entertaining. I think it was worthy of being told. I enjoyed it. It kept you on the edge of your seat. Casting good, everything really good in it, music really good in it. I did hear after the movie that some people were saying it made fun of Christmas and Christmas time, and I personally didn't see that myself. Now, I'm not going to knock that because I think everybody goes into a movie and sees different things after the movie. So I think that that could be valid. I didn't see it myself personally, but I'm not saying that other people might not have seen it. So I think that while I didn't see it, people could have seen it. I mean, everybody will see something different in a movie. So I'm not going to knock that. But overall, a very enjoyable movie. So the moment of truth has arrived. What would I give the movie out of 20 and would I recommend it to you all? Well, a couple of seasons ago, I might have given this movie a 7 out of 10. But this season, this vlog, this movie, I'm going to give this movie a 14 out of 20. Now, I'm going to say that is not a terrible score. It sounds low and it is low, but I'm going to explain why. So here's why I give the movie a 14 out of 20. Because Wildwood was good. It was entertaining, humorous, hard emotion, all that good stuff, music, visual effects, editing, all that stuff worked. I think that it leaves you wanting something, it leaves you wanting more, it leaves something to be desired. What that is, personally, I don't know myself, but I just had that feeling after the movie. And it's for that reason I have to knock off some points to give it a 14 out of 20. But there's an asterisk with the 14 out of 20, and let me explain. While it's a 14 out of 20, it's not a weak 14 out of 20, it's a strong 14 out of 20. And it's a 14 out of 20 that I would say that while it is a 14, I would absolutely recommend watching it. You'll really like it, I think. It is Christmas themed. I don't feel like it mocks Christmas personally. So I would absolutely recommend watching it. It's definitely a 14 out of 20, but I would absolutely recommend watching it for sure. Alright, well, looking at my watch, it looks like we're about out of time. So please, until next week, remember I'm putting it in the comment section now. All season long, comment on this blog. Tell me, what do you like? What don't you like? What would you like to see me do differently? All that good stuff and then some. I'd love to hear from you all. I really would. Also, please remember, all season long, you can comment on this blog. Recommend a movie, TV show, book, song, album for me to review, and I might just review it for y'all right here on TK's video blog. Now, I can't always promise you that you'll like the review or agree with everything I have to say in the review. What I will promise you is this. I will always keep it fair, and I will always keep it honest. That is my commitment to you all, as always. So, with that all being said, until next week, take care, be safe, and goodbye, everyone. Have a great weekend. I'll see you right back here next week.